Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Today we're going to do an overview of our Can-Am Smart Lok billet diff. As a lot of you know, these things are pretty accident prone. Going up a hill a little too fast, hit a rock a little too fast, then we can crack the case. Pretty thin factory cases. Or you do get a little case flex, and now you're missing some teeth in that Smart Lok diff. Or you've gone to service the thing and now you're missing your snap ring groove. So your snap ring and your center bearing will no longer stay in. So we've addressed a lot of those problems in this billet diff. So this diff, we make all three pieces for it. Both passenger side, driver side covers, and the actual diff retain all of the Smart Lok components if you choose. Now, if you want to go to a spool or a locker, those will all work in here as well. As you can see, not fully bolted on, but those will bolt on. Speed sensors for the tone rings all slide in and seal up. Uses factory O-ring on each side. Uses factory oil seal on each side. Uses an MPT fitting for the fill plug. We include some new hardware for these. On the inside of the cover, it still retains those Smart Lok features. So you have the engagement mechanism, which rides on 6 balls. We have that machined in here. So that sits down, and as it actuates with the motor, this is what rides up and engages the actual clutch pack for the Smart Lok to engage. So your spring can go on, screw on, all of this component's retained. On the diff itself, we clearly have the areas for the speed sensor, motor actuator to go in, but when we look at the actual case, we go from an 1/8 inch thick center wall, and now we're about 5/8 thick. So we've made this as thick as we possibly can, while still clearing the gears, clutches, all of that. Center bearing is in there, and now instead of your factory thin snap ring to hold it in, we use a heavy duty spiral lock ring. Wraps around twice as thick, holds that thing in there. There won't be any moving. Plenty of material on the outside, so that won't be chipping out either. So a lot less movement, distortion in the case, hold the parts in better. All right, on the driver's side here, still using that driver's side speed sensor. So that's fully operational. Check driver's side speed on the tone ring. That's done with a 2-piece setup. That bolts in, has an O-ring to seal it up. Still have our vent tube, still have factory style axle seals. See, the covers are solid. Again, filled all of that in. Still have your groove for your speed sensor to go in there. And then internally in the case, just as much material as we can do. Don't mind the machining blemish, but kind of a test case hanging out at the shop here to go over. So again, just as much material as we can put in it. Still has the clearance for your frame rail. Uses factory bolt locations. They do come with a drain plug in the factory location. And then pinion still goes in with the same bearing, same inner needle bearing on the inside, and the same pinion nut and pinion seal. So we've had these things assembled, we put them through the tests, and we've got a machine out here to show you that they have been out and been working. So let's go take a look at that. So guys over at To The Top Off-Road have been testing these out for me, and as you can see, Ben here has one in. He and one of the other guys have had these in all spring and summer. They've been through hill climbs, rock trails, hill and hole, tug of war, and I don't know what else. And things have been holding up great, bolt in great. If it looks like it's leaking, it isn't. Ben's machine spent a little time on its roof, leaked out through the vent tube. But other than that, it's been performing great. So head on over to our website, check them out, read about them, hopefully buy a few. They're in stock and ready to ship out. Thanks, guys.